The second lesson she taught me was physical strength. There's all kinds of images throughout my childhood of my grandmother doing incredible feats of manual labor, carrying logs, just carrying heavy things without complaining, just getting the job done. I was a huge fan in Russia. There's something called bogatyr. I guess similar to America, that would be America doesn't have centuries of history to where you can go to the period of knights or Vikings. So in America, I guess for a little kid, that would be like a G.I. Joe. But in Russia, that was bogatyri were kind of like the knights or maybe the Vikings, the warriors of ancient history. And I've always loved the stoicism, the power, the fearlessness of the stories told about bogatyri. I mean, as a little kid, that's all I wanted to be is one of those guys. And I remember at a certain point in my childhood, I can't quite place exactly the time, but I remember realizing, looking at my grandmother, that women could be those warriors as well. You know, my little boy's brain and whatever toys we had, I'd play with, and I always imagined that, you know, bogatyri were boys, men going out to war, and when they return as victors home, they'd be celebrated by the women, the children of their family. But my grandmother made me realize that women could be bogatyri too. But more than that, she was this figure in my life that planted that Eastern European seed of admiring strength and physical power and just toughness in that very basic sense that's required to carry heavy things and to fight. I think if I were to really psychoanalyze myself, at that early age is when I fell in love with martial arts, with the whole concept of martial combat. Before I ever practiced anything like it, the kind of sports I played as a kid with soccer and tennis and swimming, all that kind of stuff, were very far away from martial combat. But she planted the seed that when I first stepped on the wrestling mat, it felt like home. And even for the first couple of years when I really had my ass handed to me on the mat, the fire that got me to train harder, to work harder, that was my grandmother.